stories out about Mitt Romney back when he was a bishop well, I guess he still is, in the Mormon Church, counseling a woman to basically leave the church if she was going to leave her husband. Why? Because this is Mormon law. Just like, if you went to a Catholic priest under canonical law, there's a certain set of rules that you conduct yourself by, just like Orthodox Jews, under kosher laws and halacha, don't wear clothing made of two different kinds of fabric, don't eat shellfish, things like that. What about Muslim law? What about Sharia law? Dr. Ander Bostom is with us. AnderBostom.org is the website, Associate Professor of Medicine at Brown University. And welcome to the program, first of all, sir.
Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for joining us. I understand you are quite frightened by or concerned about Sharia law, the Muslim variation of canonical law and Mormon law and Jewish law. I'm assuming there are variations for Buddhists and for Hindus as well.
Well, I think that first we have to define Sharia to understand it, and we have to see what the domestic and international Islamic agendas are now openly converging. And then we can see what existing mainstream Islamic institutions and their ongoing efforts in North America are doing to facilitate what's really an international form of law.
Are you suggesting, before you go any further, are you suggesting that there is as in one, Muslim agenda?
One Muslim agenda. There's a body of law. It's a very specific body of law. It's totalitarian in the general sense of all-encompassing, regulating everything from ritual aspects of religion to personal hygiene to the governance of an Islamic state or bloc of states or a global Islamic order.
Are you familiar with the
latter political aspect that's the most troubling and is really in many respects an ancient antecedent, a more familiar modern totalitarian system. So specifically, Sharia's liberty-crushing and dehumanizing political aspects feature such things as open-ended jihadism to subjugate the world to a totalitarian Islamic order.
I'm not buying it.
Rejection of bedrock Western
I'm not buying it. But let me go back to my original question to you.
Listen, wait a minute. If we cannot explain
if you're going to try and filibuster this,
then you're wasting my time. I really don't want to have my time wasted.
Well,
so if you
that's.
don't want to understand what it is, then
I would like to. I'm trying to understand your worldview. I know that if I were to go to a Muslim,
I guess we'll have to stop.
Will you let me speak once in a while here? He hung up. Okay. Well, here's my question I was going to ask. If I went to a Muslim country and I said, "Let me tell you the Christian worldview," I think that they would look at me and go, "What, are you crazy? We got one story from the Catholics, we got another story from the Protestants, we got a different story from the Seventh-day Adventists, we got a different story from the Jehovah's Witnesses." I mean, you've got Sharia, you've got Sunnis, you've got Shiites. They don't like each other. In fact, they kill each other. In fact, the Sunnis in Iraq fought a war with the Shia in Iran for 10 years, and over 1 million people on both sides died. We, by the way, were funding both sides. We were providing intelligence to the Iranians, and we were providing weapons to the Iraqis. But it's unfortunate. In any case, if you'd like to learn more about our guest who just bailed on us, you can check out his website, AndrewBostom, BOSTOM.org. And I guess we'll leave it at that. Let me just share with you some things, some of the interesting things that we found when we were researching this topic. Sharia, first of all, is a process. It's not a law. There's not a law that you can point to that says this is Sharia. Much like going before, like a Catholic couple coming to a priest and saying, we'd like counseling, or, how should we conduct ourselves with regard to this? Or a Jewish couple going to their rabbi, or and as I said, I'm sure this is true of every major religion, or a Mormon couple going to their bishop, going to Mitt Romney and saying, the woman saying, I'm going to divorce my husband. He's been running around. He ain't no good. And the Mormon position on that is, well, if you divorce your husband, you have to leave the church. You are an outcast. Or at least that's apparently what he said. So these these are process things. This is not like, in some places there are things that are defined. Catholic law has this canon law is called. For example, Canon 1083. This is Catholic law worldwide. The minimum marriage age for girls is 14. Now, that was changed in 1983, by the way. It was 12 up until 1983. And now it's 14. That's official Catholic doctrine. Now, does that mean that we should be running around the world going, look at these barbarians, we need to outlaw Catholicism, you can't have, come on. I mean, that would be absurd. And to say, and therefore we're not going to allow Catholics to go to get counseling or to have their disputes adjudicated by their parish priest or by somebody who and pardon me if you're Catholic and I'm using my language imprecisely. I did not grow up Catholic, and so I'm not. I could tell you the Methodist take on this, which is not all that different. But it's like, would we say that? No, of course not. Are the Catholics trying to convert every single person on earth to Catholicism? Of course they are. The Catholic Church proudly issued a press release 2 years ago. We covered it on this program. We had somebody from the Catholic Church on the program. Proudly issued a press release saying that they had passed, as I recall, it was 1 billion. It might have been 1.5 billion, but I think it was 1 billion people who are now Catholic. There's about 1.5 billion Muslims in the world, maybe more. But that's just, and Catholicism is just part of Christianity. Does that mean that, oh my God, they're coming to get us? No. I don't understand the fear and hysteria that comes along with people like my friend David Horowitz, who's been on this program many times, and we've debated this issue many, many times, and he's very, very freaked out that the Muslims are coming to get him. I just don't get it. And apparently the same with this fellow from Brown University School of Medicine. Is that to say that, in the Orthodox Jewish communities where a married couple can't sleep together in the same room when the woman is menstruating, that's freedom crushing? Well, there's probably some women who would think it is, and probably some men who would think it is. But if people choose to live by a set of religious rules, if people choose to submit themselves to those, and the word Islam means submission, if people choose to submit themselves, whether it is kosher laws, whether it is canonical law, whether it is Mormon law, whether it is Seventh-day Adventist law, whether it's Jehovah's Witness law, whether it's, whatever religious laws that you, as a community, as long as they don't come into conflict with the laws of the nation, I don't think we should have, as a nation, a problem with it. And in fact, I believe that our Constitution prohibits us from having a problem with it. The First Amendment. Congress shall pass no laws that would infringe on freedom of religion. Now, does that mean that 12-year-olds or 14-year-olds, rather, can get married in the United States simply by declaring that they're Catholics because Canon 1083 of the Catholic Church says that 14 is the age of consent for marriage for girls worldwide? No. The law of the nation supersedes that. So it's just and by the way, I mean, there's this, you'll find similar. The reason I use that is because one of the things that's most often thrown out about, Sharia law, it allows 10-year-old girls to get married, or to be committed to marriage. Arranged marriages you will find in every culture around the world. But, is that a reason to say, let's pass a law against Sharia law? No.